Hey guys, Austin with Lost Creek. Today I'm going to teach you how to teach your dog not to run outdoors without permission. So the first thing I want you to do when you're working with the door in your dog is make sure you have a leash. The leash is not going to be a restriction tool, it's just a safety harness. What I mean by that is when I get the dog to the door, I don't want to hold them back because when I don't have that leash, there's not going to be nothing to keep your dog from running out. So I want to start training the dog's mind that there's a barrier here that they cannot cross, all right? But the next thing after you have a leash on, what I want you to do is make sure we're not body blocking the door. We're not opening the door and kind of preventing our dog from running out like this. You can see how he wants to go out. I'm going to show you exactly how to handle that here in just a moment. The reason I don't want you body blocking is because I want it to be the dog's choice to not run out, not just because you're there blocking him. What happens when you're not there blocking him or when you don't have a leash? Your dog's just going to run out. So to begin teaching this, again, I want you to have him on a leash and stand out of the way. I'm going to bring him over. Here, this is Luca. Now, what I'm going to do first is put my foot about 3 or 4 inches in front of the door. That way, when I open the door, if he gets excited and pushes through, he can't actually push the door open and get out. Once I get to the door here, what I'm going to do is start using my tone that we learned a few videos back. So go ahead and I'll put a link in the description of those videos. I'm going to use yay and nay when he does something right and something wrong. Now, the something wrong here is when he intends to go for the door. If he looks at it or his head goes towards it, he lunges forward. I'm going to tell him I don't like that, and I'm going to shut the door. So I'll show you what that looks like here. Come on over here. Let's look over here first so you can see. Nope. So he has a bit of intent towards the door. I'm going to tell him no. Good. So there. He didn't go out. He actually pulled himself back. It's really subtle at this distance. But anytime your dog lunges forward, I want to make sure that we're telling him no and then shutting the door. So my foot is 3 inches in front of the door. I'm going to open the door. And if he heads for it, I'm going to tell him no. Good choice right there. He didn't head for it. So that was great. Nope. There, you had a subtle head movement towards the door. I'm going to tell him no and shut the door. Now, do not smack your dog with the door. Do not shut them in the door. I just want them to understand the door will be closing. I'm not even closing it all the way. I'm just closing it shut so he cannot get out. Once I start trusting him at 3 inches, nope, there, he leaned forward. I'm going to tell him no. Once I start trusting the dog at 3 inches, I can start opening the door a little bit wider, maybe 9 or 10 inches. Yes, very good boy. Good job. I'll practice that a couple of times. Good choice. Very good. So I'm just giving him treats and praise with petting here as a reward. Eventually, we will let him go out. But you can give him more repetitions when you have treats here. Nope. So there, he kind of just nosed for the door a little. I told him no. Good choice. No. Good. Yes, very good boy. Good job. My goal here is to keep opening the door further and further until I trust him not to leave. Nope. Good. So even before I got the door open, he was anticipating that I was going to open it, and he kind of lunged forward. I told him no, and I didn't open the door. Nope. There he kind of did it. Good job with his paw. Yes, very good boy. Good job. So my release word to go outside is the word okay. You can say free, go on, okay, release, whatever you want to say. I just happen to use okay here. And that's when I tell him he's free to go through the door. So I'll do that here in a moment, but I'm going to keep the criteria up. I'm never ever going to let him go until he hears those words. I'm going to try to open the door wider and wider. Eventually, when I get to the point where I'm about as wide as I can go, I'm going to reward him because you'll see he's on edge. Oh man, it's really exciting. I think I can get out. And I'll say, hey, hold on just a little longer, and then I will give that to you. Nope. Try again. Good. Yes, very good boy. So they're out at about 2 feet. We'll try for 3 feet. Yes, very good. And this doesn't take but 2 or 3 repetitions to teach your dog. Yes, don't be surprised. Some of you, it may take 30 or 40. Most dogs, if you have proper timing, it will take just a second or 2 or 3 tries here. So I'm going to go up. No. I'm going to try to go for a wider door now. Very good boy. Okay. Good job. Very good. All right. All right, good boy. Here. Okay. Okay. Okay, good. So we do that both going in and out. You notice he kind of hesitated on the way in there. Good job. That's because he knows he's not supposed to cross doors either direction without permission. That just prevents him from having like threshold mania, essentially. There's a neat phenomenon when a dog goes through a threshold where they're, yes, I'm here. Well, I don't know really what's through here. And they'll go back through, yes, I'm back here. I don't know what's here either. But it's really neat because they like crossing thresholds. again, the first thing I want you to do when practicing this is 1, make sure you have a leash on your dog. 2, we're not body blocking the door. 3, we're not holding the dog back on a leash like this when they go, because that's just going to tell them, hey, if there's a leash on, they can't go, but when the leash is off, they're free to go. Finally, I'm going to put my foot a couple of inches in front of the door, open it slowly. I'm waiting for dogs to intend to go out that door. You're going to see intent by the head jerk like that, or they just kind of look towards it. Looking isn't as big of a deal, but at first I would prevent your dog from looking at the door. Like right there, he looked, I'd say, nope. Good. There, he sat still. He just looked, but did not go through. Good job. Then we add criteria by opening a little wider. Good boy. Good job. There you go. Good boy. And wider and wider and wider. Good. Good job. And that's how to teach your dog not to run out of the door without permission.